ladies, it's Barbara, your menopause drama mama. And today I want to talk to you all about the effects of the loss of estrogen and progesterone and the link to depression. Now, I know every woman goes through menopause differently, but I was one of those women who got severely depressed after menopause. And these are just some of the reasons. The hormonal shifts with the drop of estrogen and the drop of progesterone, it plays a huge part on our brain. So we lose that serotonin and the dopamine because the estrogen and progesterone both played a role in keeping our mood stable, and so we wouldn't have that irritability all the time and being vulnerable. And so anyway, this leads to a vulnerability into depression. Now, just like, when we used to have our periods all the time, that monthly cycle, when our hormones were shifting up and down and up and down, many of us went through just a major irritability, during that time before and after, our period. So now just having the loss of it altogether, that just enhances depression. Another one is the sleep disturbance, not being able to sleep, through 8 hours a night, because that leads to just a chronic fatigue in our body and our brains. And so that leads to irritability and just having the poor sleeping with not getting the 8 hours. It's strongly associated to depression. Another one is just the physical changes of our body and our skin, gaining weight, the changes with like the sagging or wrinkles in our skin, and that loss of the collagen that, doesn't, our skin doesn't stay plump anymore. And those physical changes, lead to just a self-esteem issue for some people. I'm not saying for everyone, I'm just saying for some. And so that can lead then into that depression. And also life stressors is a really big one. Like if, during this time of our lives, our parents are older. Now mine have both passed away, but many still have their parents. And so as their parents are aging, now they not only are dealing with their own issues of being postmenopause and having all of these changes in your body, you're also, tending to your parents. And also, many of our children are gone off to college, so then we have this empty nest syndrome going on, and that leads to depression because we've spent most of our lives taking care of our children, and we lose that sense of them needing us. And so that leads to a depression after menopause. And also, you can have just a history of depression in your life or in your family. So, like for me, I get the winter depression. So that's a seasonal depression. And with being postmenopause, it just seems to really enhance that. And so just over the years, I have tried, many different things to try and not slip into that really deep depression during the winter months, because we don't get the sun and it's cold, and I loathe being cold, and I am not a snow person, so it just seems like I am locked up in this prison, even though it's my house, but I don't get to get out like I used to, when it was summer then. So winter plays a big part in my depression, and then just being postmenopause makes it that much worse. But here are things that we can do if you also suffer from depression after your menopause years. You can change things with your nutrition, like enhancing omega-3 fatty acids, because that helps support your brain. And also vitamin D. Now, most people literally around the entire world are vitamin D deficient, and that leads into a depression. So, we also need, so you want to enhance your vitamin D, and I always say take it with the D3, K2. Having magnesium glycinate or citrate, because both of them together calms down your nervous system and helps you sleep. The aptogenic herbs like ashwagandha and rhodiola and also holy basil, those can help regulate your stress hormones. St. John's worts, that has some studies that says it can ease, the mild effects of depression, and also probiotics for your gut health. Now, remember, everything that kind of goes on into your gut also has effects throughout your body. So try to get in your probiotics during the day. Lifestyle and mood changes. You can do daily movement, whether it's walking, yoga, dancing, something to get your body moving, because you want to release those endorphins. And maybe you can do some strength training, but anything to get yourself moving. And it also becomes a distraction from being depressed. Also mindfulness, doing like meditation, deep breathing, and journaling can help reduce stress. Also, sunlight exposure. You want to, try and get out into the sun if you can, but like for me during the winter, I won't because it's just too cold. And make sure you kind of keep a schedule for your sleep. Try and get that at least 7 to 8 hours every single night. And you can do that by, keeping your bedroom cool and also taking that magnesium glycinate at night. And grounding practices also help. So being in nature, gardening, or walking outside with your shoes off. Emotional and support of your family and friends helps by just being able to talk to them and having creative outlets, like whether you can, draw or take up new hobbies, painting. I learned on YouTube. Now, YouTube is just a phenomenal way to be able to learn a new skill. Last winter, I crocheted this beautiful, beautiful blanket, and like here's a picture of it. And I just watched some YouTube videos on how to learn it. So I went out, I bought the yarn and everything, and I did screw up, a few times, and I would have to unravel the whole thing. But it turned out beautiful. It's like a 6 foot by 6 foot Afghan, and I love it. And it is so heavy, but I made it that huge because all my boys are over 6 feet tall. So, but just learn something new. And you'd be amazed that, just being able to get your mind out of that depression mode, that having a new activity can just help amazingly. Or go out and buy a puzzle, put puzzles together, just do something different and just add some kind of an activity or learn something new. And that can help with depression. Also, if you have, family or friends, girlfriends, a social group, you can get together so you can talk and help with depression. And also therapy. And if you can, reduce alcohol and sugar, because those can both worsen your mood swings and disrupt your hormones. And right now it's extremely important to take care of ourselves. And depression, it can be bad. It just, you feel like there's nothing to, live for after it gets really, really bad. And every day just seems like, the same old, same old. So I hope, ladies, that this video can help you in some way if you are suffering from any depression during your postmenopause years. And if you are, maybe, make some comments in the, below, and we can open a discussion on how, we can get through these years and make it better for us. Well, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and watch more videos all about everything to do that we go through in menopause. I love you, ladies, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Mwah.